Beginning broadcast. Random access data. Log number 72494434. Greetings and salutations, students. I am the Space Wizard, King Chiroptera. This lesson, my students, starts off with me aboard my vessel, the Raging Reflection. As you know, it is our sacred duty and responsibility to restore power to the Empire. It is our sacred integrative duty to seek out as much knowledge as we can in regards to nebula sorcery, the space wizards, the phaser knights. All these things we must learn with vigor and with responsibility and indignation. And, as destiny would have it, our glorious call to responsibility has once again beckoned us to journey down the pathways, the starways of power and knowledge and personal perseverance and growth. Come, my students, for we have another adventure. And as it is with most of these opportunities to learn and grow in the ways of space wizardry, nebula sorcery, phaser knighting, all these glorious things, there's a very strong and valiant effort that must be made. And this valiant effort, I should say, typically comes in the form of violence and testing your limits to the utmost what you can bear. It is bone-breaking, but the reward, the knowledge, the spells, and the music at the end, it's intoxicating and beyond anything you could imagine. Let me explain more about this specific mission in the armory. I need to start choosing out my quasar emitters, but I'll explain more once we're there. Every now and then in life, you get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, an extraordinary chance, something that only you can do in this time and in this moment. And it happened to me. A wizard across the nebula, across the solar system, he reached out to me and he said, dude, I need your chops. So it's like, okay, dude. So I'm looking at my quasar emitters right now. We got the beautiful Les Paul single cut. Pretty dope, love that. And he sent me three spells through the cosmos. And, oh, look at that. A Jackson JS32RR. Fantastic with the fish hook. The fish inlays with the fins. Oh, bro, dude. And that triple play. If you know what a triple play is, you know, but you don't know. Unless you do know. But if you do know, it's sweet. There is another quasar emitter up on the chopping block, though. You guys could guess it. It is my favorite weapon ever created. Let me put that to the side. Yes, the Jackson Concorde. The CDX-22, that's the specific model. Look at that headstock with tape wrapped around it. And then, okay, when we get to the meat and potatoes... Okay, it's the JS32 Randy Rhoads model, but there's, as you're going to see, my fat fingers right here, there's an extra like 2 inches of wood added, and it makes it more spaceship-y, makes it more like kind of, I don't know, airport in my opinion. And that's what I'm doing here. I make airport metal, airport rock, and so the CDX-22, beautiful, bro. It's my favorite shape. I'm obviously not going to take that. You saw my fat fingers waving and all that jazz. So now here's the big question. Are we going to do the Les Paul or the Randy Rhoads? I showed the Randy Rhoads case, so, we're reaching for it. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for the JS32. And psych, we're going with the Fender Telecaster. Alrighty, enough joking around. We gotta get to the Interstellar Solar System Aeroport. So, after my travels, I landed in the aeroport, and there were 3 suspicious, dark-clad figures who came up to me and they said, "We need to confiscate your quasar emitters, your ration packs, everything, the whole shebang." And then they started dancing around me. And I said, "Who are you, you bastards?" And they looked me right in the eyes and they said, "I am Paul Kevin Jonas Jr., and I will save the Disney world with my rock and roll." And I slapped him across the face and I said, "No, I am Paul Kevin Jonas Jr., and I will save the Disney world with my rock and roll, baby." As you could possibly superimpose, I just destroyed all of the corporations of Disney World and Universal combined. I am Kevin Jonas, Paul Kevin Jonas Jr. I am the savior of the Disney World, owner of the Grand Floridian, King Chiroptera. Joshua Hood am I. I am the self-taught space wizard, and you shall not defeat me. For I am Paul Kevin Jonas Jr., and I will save the Disney world with my rock and roll, baby. After giving my speech to the aeroport, I decided that it would be a good thing for me to go get lunch. So I visited this indigenous tribe on this planet and listened to their music while I consumed their food and drank their drink. The food that I chose was the potato salad with liver pate, which was most delicious. I also had mac and cheese with meatballs. Although I did notice something strange. Once I had consumed my Coca-Cola, I had the most bizarre tingling sensation in my lips and in my fingertips. I've been poisoned. Okay, Space Wizards. In times like these, you need to remember, you must not panic at all.
There's no use lying.
It really does remind me of that time when I was on Galoompter 4, eating that esoteric inebriation. And I believe that's why this Bob Iger fellow has failed his company. The people that he gives all the attention to versus his core demographics, I mean, really, that's who you're gonna cater to? Holy moly, no wonder why that company has lost literally...
Dragovich. Do you remember Dragovich?
Castro. We went in to kill Castro.
Oh no! Time vortex? I mean, dude, he has zero idea what he's doing. And as far as I'm aware, it's such a lovely institution.
Computer, full stop. Identify.
I'm a dinosaur. Wow, and that is why you practice, ladies and gentlemen. When I awoke from the hallucinations, I realized I was on a boat with many other captors. This was the Great Mexico City, and I had to plot my escape. I eventually made my way off of the vessel and into the city, but the robots and ninjas were caught on my trail and quick right behind me, so I had to dodge into this very strange outlet. I didn't want to stick around here for too long, as it seemed that the Mexicans, per se, were being carted off into some sort of a transport hub. I didn't want to stay there for long because I knew that there were shenanigans about to happen, and I had to go get my guitar lesson. But I also didn't want to make my way outside into the city because the robots would be looking for me, and the ninjas were looking for me inside already. So what was I supposed to do? I suppose I'm gonna have to go along to get along for now. So, what I'm going to do is right when we're about to board the transport, at the last second, I'm going to give them a surprise spell. And the only thing that I know is that I need to escape them at all costs. If I want that guitar lesson, I am going to have to slit some throats, shoot some robots, destroy some carriers, drop a couple of bombs, novas, quasars, 100 million deaths. I mean, to be honest, there's really not much that I will not sacrifice to achieve my goals. I am here to achieve the mission, and I need that guitar lesson. I mean, did you think that I was joking when I said earlier I was choosing my quasar emitter? So, you thought I was joking? You idiot! You idiot! Are you kidding me? You thought I am a space wizard. Not only that, but I am a fully fledged trained nebula sorcerer. I'm a phaser knight. I am a space wizard. And you think that the insult. The honest to God insult. If my glorious empire was still standing right now, I would bring you before the king and have you publicly executed. This is ridiculous. I can't believe you haven't been taking any of this seriously so far. By the way, this is Mexico. Hensely forth written unto us today, I have been exploring Mexico for about a month now, and I am almost there. I'm so close to my goal, I can almost taste the wizard and his or her potent magicianal magic all over my lips. Yes, delicious magic. Point is I've been here for about a month, and I am getting close to finding the wizard, and I need to beat feet out of here. I also know that we need to go to the wizard's safe house, which is located here in Mexico City, and after that I will have 1 day and 1 night to rest and recuperate. After that, though, we are actually going to have to travel to another planet inside of this solar system to undergo Phase 2 of the test. I'm not sure what to expect. To be honest, this place known as Mexico is very, very strange to me, so I'm not sure what the next system or what the next planet in the Filiodorian System has to offer. But I have to admit, it is, these data logs have been pretty wild thus far. So wild that I, in fact, have opened and built a museum dedicated to all of the bone trophies from the dragons that I have slain and killed over the years dwelling on this planet. Mexico's a strange planet, but it does have some very exciting wildlife. Each one of these indigenous beasts I slew with my quasar emitter, bravely, astutely, intellectually. The planning and the foreknowledge required to pull this off would devastate a humble mind such as yours. Not that humble is necessarily bad or a negative thing. I'm not even necessarily calling you stupid or dumb. I'm just, you know, trying to reiterate the saying. Well, you see, you know, the men with two first names, the old adage goes, the men with two first names. Now, would you get a load of that handsome scoundrel right there? Ladies and gentlemen, we finally were able to make it to our temporary abode. We're about to go in and check the digs. Hopefully my quasar emitter is still there. And, wow, would you look at that? They opened up my bags and safety checked everything. And it looks like they didn't even clean up after the last guest? Question mark? Slave? Captive? Who was in here last? What is that stench? Oh, okay. For a sec, I thought they took a guitar string off my guitar. I was about to flip out, but we've got to head out. This planet that we're traveling to apparently is called Moritari Kakaritaris Ahmale Sportilim Akaradisa Chutratsi Portulin Bukura Taurelia Kalas Prime 14. And as we all know, it is my job to seek out the Nebula Sorcerer, a certain phaser knight and space wizard, so that he can give me the sacred guitar lesson that I've been looking for. It's just what I need to overdrive my engines and obtain new hyperspace routes. In that pursuit, we shall also obtain the power to henceforth destroy our enemies, and we will seize back the Empire. We will not be overburdened or overcome by those fat piggies. Anyways, let's take a look at this spaceship right here. As you can tell, this is obviously a 1945 BBY Excelsior spaceship. I haven't seen one of these models since, I don't know, maybe 75? I mean, definitely since before the Battle of Galactic Korea. Oh, look at that guy just spewing out all that diesel fumes and that, exhausto smoke. You know, I wonder what happened to this model. You know, did they stop making these? I'm really actually curious, because this model of transport, the 75-73, it was fantastic. It literally carried me through my first 4 concourses all those years ago when I decided I wanted to be a space wizard. Now, I think that's enough reminiscing. We need to explore Somalia even further. I have no idea why this particular space wizard wanted me to meet up here. I mean, look at this place. It's an absolute dump. What a nightmare. What's that statue of that bird thing? Are these idols hand-carved by pagans? What is going on here? This is not... I gotta say, this very much does stem from the irregular, from the Empire. This is... I don't know about this place, but we must continue. It does not matter how heinous and disgusting the environment is. We have to pursue this knowledge. We cannot go back now. We've sacrificed too much. Months in Mexico, finding his safe house, playing all these little games just to obtain the guitar lesson. I swear, if it's not a literal knight in shining armor, I might possibly hang myself with my guitar strings. However, I do think that we should stick this one out because we've been here for 3 months already, and I see no point in turning back now. I mean, look at the sacrifice of all these sweaty people who are existing on this planet just for my entertainment. I mean, they deserve, well, anyways, I'm hungry. Let's go get food. And during our quest for food, the mighty quest for grub, we came across this little hole in the wall, which I just think is the most adorably cute thing in the entire galaxy, in this solar system specifically. You guessed it, it's a weapons shop. A weapons shop specifically for hunting monsters. Now, as you all are very well aware, my students, that is my specific academic focus within Nebula Sorcery, is monster hunting. So it's something that I am very, very well antiquated with. It's something that I've been studying for a while. And I gotta say, the swords, the blasters, the phasers, it is quite the delicious selection. And the taxidermized lizards and monsters that they have on the wall, I gotta say, this little shop has blown my mind. It has got so much charm, so much firepower. I mean, what's to disagree about any of this at all? After purchasing enough artillery to drop a Nova bomb on New Matthew Henry City, Prime II, I decided to go across the street, and luckily I found this place called the Ronto Roasters. Oh my stars. The smells, the sights, the roasting meats and succulents of this shop. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 12 out of 10. It was phenomenal. The atmosphere, the music that they had, I don't know if they hired musicians to write custom songs or if this is a band that just happened to be playing and they're local heroes. But we have starch sticks right there with this very delicious lime and black peppercorn sauce. And then inside of our actual wrap, we have a bread wrap with pork, salad, and a sausage and more of that sauce. I'm telling you, Somalia, GG, very, very good job. I'm unfamiliar with this planet, but that was a great lunch. And after that, about 15 minutes later, my ethereal senses were notifying me that the space wizard was trying to reach me at this time. Finally, after months of toil and anguish, I was going to receive my guitar lesson. However, due to secrecy laws within the Space Wizard Academy, this is where we part ways. End transmission.